podcast you cheer for. Sneaker business talk. It's the Soul Material Podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Material Podcast, the podcast you cheer for. It's your boy, the OGEO.
All right, T Mark, the Street Shark, we're here.
And this episode, we're going to dig right into something that has been going on universally, worldwide. We're not going to sit here in front. We ain't going to jive. We're going to go right into calling out some companies and some names, things that are going on. It's the season. We got some Grinches out here. We've already discussed this previously in a previous episode about things that are going on in the community as far as theft and stealing. And we are going to go there to call out LaserShip, which is a shipping company that has egregiously attacked and went for folks who are getting packages from apparel and footwear companies directly, to the point that our own T Mark the Street Shark has his experiences. And we have things that are online with a whole campaign as far as with LaserShip. So we know for sure with the USPS, UPS, FedEx, packages get lost all the time. But we're talking about something here that if you know, you know. If you don't know, it's time for you to get informed. So Shark, please let the folks know what is going on with LaserShip in your experience.
All right. So this is the clarity over popularity personified story here because, it's like there's a big issue that we didn't know was a big issue until it hit home. So that's one of those things where in this situation, it's like misery loves company because it's just like, okay, well, everyone's had this problem, not just me. But specifically, I recently, we gave you the buying guides for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And so took my own advice and purchased a few things. And, well, they didn't make it all the way. So thanks to LaserShip, this is a third-party carrier service that a lot of these companies are using to add in some extra distribution checkpoints so that they can get packages optically to you faster, but they actually have to make it to the customer. So I had four packages. I had four packages from four different merchants. And they all came up missing at the same time, all delivered by LaserShip. So I'm actually going to go through one by one who the packages came from, and then all of the experience with each and every merchant. So with that, so that was very discouraging, right? So what happens is, I'm trying to find out, like, what do I do next? What's going on? And in a quick Google search says that there's a lot of people that have this problem, and they have this problem particularly with sneaker and apparel companies. All right. So there's been documented cases. Wonder why these sneaker blogs didn't really pick this stuff up over the last year or two, that this has been a constant trend. All right. Where not only are the packages not getting delivered where they're or stolen, it's the drivers who are actually doing the stealing. And I've seen case after case now, like some have the audacity to go in and open the box and then take the shoes out and just leave your empty Jordan box. There's people been caught on camera, like literally dropping off packages, taking the picture, and then walking away, and then like circling back and grabbing the package and then walking away.
So on camera, you mean as far as with like the doorbell, like with the doorbell cameras and so forth that people have now?
The doorbell cameras, if you're at the apartment or you have, the nicer apartments that have the cameras in the lobbies or by the mailboxes, like those type of situations. And so again, there's tape on it. And then on top of that, like, there's actually been news coverage at local levels. Like if you Google, you'll see a couple different cities have local news covering cases with LaserShip, and then people would contact their local stations, give their testimonies. They were giving interviews, and a lot of it, you know, the Nike, you're doing, you're part of one of the retailers that some of your product is going out through these companies. So much so that there's petitions on change.org, multiple ones for LaserShip service to cease to exist, or, you know, not there's one for Nike not to use LaserShip anymore. There's another one for like Amazon for the same thing. So it's something fishy about all of this. This isn't a coincidence. Like a warehouse manager earlier this summer was arrested for stealing shoes. So I guess times is hard out here, but is it worth it? You're stealing people's packages. And to do what? The resale game got that thick that you had to go become, you know, Ace Ventura, the delivery service over here, you know what I mean? And then just mess around with people's packages and then move on and take their stuff. So yeah, discouraging, but I know better. And for those that have been listening closely to the podcast, you know, I actually work in payment processing side of the nonprofit industry, and so I kind of know how it works when you need to file a claim, put a hold on a transaction, or do a chargeback. So luckily I didn't have to go all the way to the steps. So I'll give you another financial literacy lesson at a later date. But we're going to go through just the general customer service steps, because one thing I want to let our audience know with this episode of Sneaker Business Talk, want to let you know that as much as this is a problem with the carrier, they're a third party. So your issue still lives with the original merchant and your seller. Sorry to tell you that, when it comes to liabilities and responsibilities. So because you didn't originally buy anything from the carrier, so there's nothing for them to refund. They have service agreements where there's insurance and all this other stuff that the companies let them get that together. So one thing I want to assure you, before I go into detail of each retailer, I'm just going to say good customer service from everybody. And it was a little surprising how the degrees of what I had to go through, because it's almost like they've been through this before, where it's just that easy to do some of this stuff. And that's actually what some of the local news reports, when they interviewed people, had said. You know, customer service was really good from the merchants end. So a lot of responsibility for these merchants, which is why it's just like, is it worth it to use these services? So
question for you, Shart, really quick. What time frame are you talking about with your 4 packages in which you are more than certain that you were targeted?
So I lost 4 packages in less than 2 days. And 3 of them were all together at the same time. And I'm literally checking like within an hour, no more than 2 hours, within my confirmation delivery email, right? I don't have a history of theft where I live. You know, I might have had one at the beginning of the pandemic, and it was they changed. That was when the mail routing changed a while ago too. So really haven't had an issue for the volume of stuff that I order. But it's always good. For some reason, these people don't deliver to your door. All right, so they're leaving packages in common areas, and they're, you know, FedEx, UPS, they're delivering to your door. All right. Even the post office most of the time will deliver to your door if the package is not too big for the common mailbox. So,
yes,
so not a history of this happening. But I get it. There's more volume of packaging going out during the holidays. Higher likelihood that it's something of value. But that's about it. I'm talking about a Monday and a Tuesday, or Tuesday and Wednesday. Like it was, you know, and then some of these packages were delivered in the evening, you know, between 8 to 9 o'clock in the evening. So it's not even common after work time where people are coming in and out. So that meant that either the courier is doing something or somebody in the cut is just lurking, and then just snatching it as soon as it gets dropped off. So in one of my packages it had a picture of the package sitting in front of my mailbox. And then by the time I go downstairs within the hour, it's not there. So again, not common, but it happened. So what happens next, right? So after you get over your initial frustration, you're gonna have to go through some paperwork. And I was so frustrated with LaserShip, especially once I started Googling just to find out where to file my claims. That's when I started seeing all of the other news that this has been a thing, and it's over and over again. So a lot with Amazon, ladies, Fashion Nova, apparently they've been snatching your Fashion Nova stuff too. So but a lot in the sneaker world, a lot with Nike in particular. So go ahead.
So Shark, I got a moment. You're basically saying that for sure, given your situation and what you had to Google research yourself because you were directly affected and impacted, that that sneaker community is being targeted. And I'm not calling out any blogs and any sites, but I have not seen one thing about LaserShip directly on any platform the past 6 months. And we're on looking at stuff every day.
Yeah, I mean, you had an actual investigation and an arrest that didn't make the major blogs, or at least in rotation. There may have been like one or two, and then it was you have the full news clips and things to embed to tell the story, but I don't know. Again, this is why we're a little different, clarity over popularity, because Indeed. I guess it wasn't popular to actually inform your audience that their packages could be stolen. It barely even covered when the tape changed, like the Nike to Just Do It tape that a lot of people didn't like, that might have been a social media topic, but it wasn't really a headline or, news. But this was one of those situations where it's like, well, if there's a fight or something like that, or somebody gets hurt, yeah, everyone's covering that because you want to sensationalize that. Mm-hmm. But this was a perfect opportunity to, inform your customers if you in audience, if you so care that you monetize off these listeners and views. So when you want to give back to the culture and how it started, you do things like this. So here we are, that's why we're the podcast is here for, right? So here let's go over the four retailers, and then we're gonna break them down. Yep. So Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, and eBay. So imagine that. All right, I'm gonna say it again: Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, eBay. All of those packages arriving at the same time, right after Black Friday. Yeah, you got a nice range of sale items to, I'm not going to name all the items, but, you got a range of sale items to, ooh, you got me on one of them jokes. So somebody was, you came up. So congratulations. So each and every instance, I had to go first file my initial claim with LaserShip. All right. So I had to go back, get all the tracking numbers. Again, 3 out of the 4 didn't even have a picture, or it just said dropped off at Lockbox. I think that's what it said, or something like that. And I'm just like, that's even worse. And filed a claim to say I didn't receive the package for each and every one of them. So that establishes a case immediately with LaserShip. So you're going to get a case number. All right. These are the most important things. Go just establish the case, get the case number. You're going to need that because that's going to validate your story when you go back to every one of these merchants. You're not just, you're not just going to say this stuff happened. Go get the documentation because everyone else is going to just be looking at a tracking number that says delivered. And then now you're going to have to explain why it says that, but that's not really what happened, right? To prove that you're not a part of the scam too. So with that, get your case numbers. All right. These things are, I have no expectation that these cases are going to go anywhere, especially after doing that preliminary research, because everyone also complains about what the cases not resulting in anything. They're always going to say, I filed a case. They say it's not their fault. Talk to the merchant. Well, those are their disclaimers, and that's what you're supposed to do. All right. So don't put much into it. Just go through the logistics. All right. Just take the case numbers. So now I take the case number for each tracking number, and now I have that lined up with which retailer I'm going to go to first. All right. So actually went to Nike first. All right. Went to Nike and actually used the chat function for this one. I didn't even call them. I used the chat function for this one. On their customer service page. So I just chatted with the representative, told them what my story was. And then I didn't let them ask me questions. I just immediately just went in and said, I have a case number. And then at that time, I wanted to have more evidence. And I was so peak frustration in the moment. I also saw people had claims on the Better Business Bureau as well. So I filed a claim on the Better Business Bureau as well, just to make it look like I escalated everything, and just have a bigger frame of reference to say that, no, they can't do anything, but this is bad business. And then it's almost unethical to have this many cases of the same thing and nothing to be done about it. And Indeed. If you see so many of these on the Better Business Bureau as well, that's just like your Yelp for the type of service that you've been provided, and you have that right to go to the Better Business Bureau and file complaints on the way people do business. So I did that. So now I have 2 case numbers to share with everybody the whole time. So now I'm super serious. So now you're going to know on the other end that I'm a more sophisticated consumer because I've immediately walked in with 2 case numbers. So if you're asking me any questions, you're not going to ask me too many hard ones because it sounds like I already know what I'm doing by the time I get there to see you. So now I walk in, again, I'm chatting with Nike. I give them my case numbers, and then they say, sorry this happened to you, and then what they're going to do is I wanted the product. So they're going to stock locate. And again, these items were sale items, discounts and sales. So there's not going to have deep inventory. So I wasn't expecting that they were going to be able to replace my items. So unfortunately, they were not. So good, Nike. You tried to locate, and then you say, oh, sorry, I can't get them, Mr. Martin. I will. So they issued the refund. So they issued a refund, and then a while before the chat is over, I see the email pop up, and I have I got my refund, and then that was kind of it for Nike. They didn't ask any more questions. They just said, "Sorry, this happened to you. We value you as a customer." They even stated, you've been a member for over 20 years or whatever it was. We're really sorry this happened to you. Is there anything else we can do? And that was it. So that was the end of that chat, quick, fast, and easy. So first and foremost, I've immediately already got my money back from Nike. So next, I was, I tried the same chat with Under Armour while I was doing with Nike, but the Under Armour one took too long. So I actually finished with Nike, and then I actually just called the customer service number at Under Armour. So all of this is within like 3 hours of my whole discovery of the missing packages. Mm-hmm. All right. So I call Under Armour. Under Armour picks up. We talk. Pull up my order, and then when I tell them the situation, and then they go through a little generic spiel at first, and then I was like, no, I need you to listen to me. I have 4 of these going on at the same time, and then that kind of like, now they get out of their script mode, and they're like, oh, whoa, that's serious. Sorry, sir. Sorry, we're really sorry that we're one of these that's happening. That happened to you, and then now I start asking questions because I had 2 items in that order, and one of them they couldn't fulfill, and then the other one is like, like a sweatshirt on sale or whatever with the discount. And then they were able to give me another one. So this time I say, okay, you do have my size, but if you're going to ship it again with LaserShip, then I don't want it. So, and it was like, no, sir. Let me reassure you. All right. This is a refulfillment order. This will go out FedEx. And you will get a tracking number. So think about that. They had the power to say who is going to go out of because of the type of ship this was classified as. So put some more of those controls on the other end, please, so that you don't need to use this cheap, cheesy service or whatever. Because LaserShip, look at that. You're costing these merchants money, and they're paying you to use the service, and then now they got to they're not even getting inventory back that they could sell again. So they're issuing refunds for your negligence, and it's continuing to happen. So I just gave them a recommendation. You shouldn't use the service. Please don't. And then they say, we value you. Again, in previous episodes, I told you, establish a membership and account with all these people. They'll see your history, and then they'll look at you a little different. If you ever have a problem, you had to get on the phone with somebody. Trust me, it goes. It makes it easier. So Under Armour, they tell me it's over. Good deal. So they give me the refund, and then they say, you check your email. So I check my email. Boom, refund's there. So we're good on that, right? So now I go in and make my attempt with Adidas. So this time I actually just get on the phone with them and talk to them. So when I talked to Adidas, this one took a little bit longer. So I had already had these quick experience with Under Armour and Nike, so I just thought I was going to get in and out. So I was a little bit frustrated at first. So that's the context. So when I'm talking to Adidas, they listened to my whole case, and they was like, "Oh wow, let me put you on hold." Put me on hold. Listen to the elevator music. Come back. And then they say, okay, you said you had a case directly with LaserShip. What's the case number? And I was like, oh, okay. So you're asking for it. All right. So I give them the case. Okay, let us put you on hold. We're going to research this. I'm like, for real? Okay, put me on hold for a little bit longer. And then they come back and okay, sir, we've researched the case. And clearly they see that it's an active case. So they said, we're going to handle it from here. All right, we're going to follow up on this case. Sir, can you check your email right now? And I'm like, wait, what? So now I'm not even paying attention. And they're just like, do you see? And then they gave me the full refund. So they didn't even ask me to fulfill anything. They just went and just reset the whole transaction. A lot of merchants will do that as well. They don't even care what happened. Just reset, start all over again. We'll figure it out after that. So Adidas was one of those. They just reset, and then Adidas says, "We value you as a customer." There's another email in your inbox. Can you tell me if you got that? I look at it, and now it's a link. It's a payment link, and it says, and then they say, if you want to reorder the items, please order it here, and it will be shipped to you FedEx. And I was just sitting there like, so again, you can actually determine, like, why aren't you sending the stuff through the FedEx the first time? Well, anyway, and then I get another email, third one, and it says, "Did you get this email?" Yeah. So we're so sorry for this inconvenience. This is 25% off of your next purchase. If you decide to reorder again. That was great. So now I got 3 out of the 4, got all my money back. So the last one was eBay. So I knew this one was going to take a little while with eBay because they had their money back guarantee, right? But you got to prove some stuff. So I filed my claim online, and I had to wait a day because of the automated system. It says that it's delivered. It won't even allow you to enter the form until the day crosses over because it's automated, and because it says, oh, well, your package says it's delivered. If you don't have it, it could, check around your area and all this other stuff, the generic stuff. So I waited to the earliest moment, log back in, file my claim. All right. It took they tell you it takes a couple of days. It took 48 hours. And probably because I have had strong power seller status and been on eBay for a while, I just dusted it back off 2 years ago. They called me on the phone.
They called you.
They called me. All right. They called me and said, wow, Mr. Martin, I read your case because I put in there about all the details. You're 104. I got here's my Better Business Bureau claim as well, all of those things. And they said, wow. And it was so personal. I could tell that the guy was just a savvy guy or maybe a younger guy that kind of got it. He was like, hey, boss, I got this for you. So I just need you to, I just need to verify your information. But I got you, boss. Man, they got you. That's messed up. We're going to take care of you. We're going to take care of you, boss. So he ended up sending me an affidavit that I had to sign to testify that what I said was true. And then it was like, so all you got to do is sign it, like physically sign it. It's a legal document and scan it and send it back. And we'll take care of the rest. You got the money back guarantee. And now that we got these case numbers, we're going to be following up directly with LaserShip ourselves. And hopefully we don't. He's like, man, I hope that if you buy something else, we don't ship it with LaserShip again. So I filed that stuff. I did that over a weekend, and then by Monday early in the morning, I get multiple emails that say it's we're good to go. And then there's my refund. So it took probably 4 business days for all of my refunds total to come back to me. So that's not bad at all for all of those things to happen. And then in the meantime, I got the emails from LaserShip that say, sorry, you're we looked into the case. We investigated it, but the packages say they're delivered, so nothing we can do. Follow up with your merchants. And then it took like another day, and then I get another email on top of this from LaserShip. All right, so this email is actually from a customer service person with their name on it. It's not the generic. It looks like a form letter, but it's not the template auto send like the other ones look like. And then this last message says, so we just wanted to let you know that we took your claim so serious that I had to read on because I didn't realize that it was a forwarded message from whatever the higher level investigator that sent it out to their team and said, contact this customer. And it actually stated that we take it serious. And although the package was delivered to the correct address, our investigation shows that the driver was negligent and left your packages in an unsafe area. We have addressed the issue and the retraining, has been, like the driver has been identified, and the warehouse manager has been notified that, this was not in their protocol to leave it at in these common areas. So wow, what an experience. So all I want you all to know is, this shark had to have some, laser beams to go back and go into all of these claims and with the precision and the due diligence to get all your claims together, file and get your refunds directly. You don't have to fluff up the stories, just tell the truth. It's already bad enough that this happened in volume. I don't think it's a coincidence. LaserShip, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Understood. Shark in closing, I wanted to just say on behalf of myself and the sneaker community, apologies for you dealing with what you had to deal with. But again, the reason why we are the podcast you cheer for, and we're about clarity with popularity, because you got snipped with your art acquisition, but thanks to Sneaker Business Talk and being the person that you are, you're able to describe what went on, give folks tips on what to do, give them directions on how to go about things, because this may happened to you. And again, shame to the other blogs, sites, everything that's out there that has not blasted LaserShip, given that they are targeting us being sneakerheads. So
there you go.
the OGEO,
T-Mart the Street Shark. Yeah, this has been a real story in sneaker history. Can't make this up. But this is why we're again authentic. So we want you to know your rights, understand what you can do and how much control that you have, right? So you gotta close the deal. It's like getting that rebound after you played that hard defense. You gotta close it out. So we want to get you the deals, but they gotta make it to your crib so you can rock them. Okay, so till next time. More sneaker adventures from the Soul Material crew. So T-Mart the Street Shark,
OGEO.
we're out of here.
Peace to you.